What are the different types of scalp disorders? You will find numerous scalp disorders, some considerably more popular than other individuals, but most often they may be broken down into wide varieties based upon what triggers them and their principal symptoms. Several of the most well-known entail itchiness and flakiness of your skin just along with the scalp. Both dandruff and seborrheic dermatitis tumble into this group. There are also a variety of issues that lead to hair loss, usually in patches or clumps. Occasionally these kind of conditions are due to autoimmune situations, or they may be a reaction to excessive pressure. You will also find many situations that can result in hair advancement issues, especially in regards to ingrown hairs. Infections could be problematic within the scalp, too. Some bacterial infections are due to fungi and microorganisms, while other folks owe their roots to parasites, especially smaller lice or mites that burrow in the oily pores and skin. Not all scalp diseases is usually fully cured, but most is usually dealt with, and anyone who is struggling or in agony should really normally find prompt clinical consideration so that you can obtain the ailment below management. Itches and flakes. Dandruff, also occasionally known medically as pityriasis, is one of the most common ailments. The problem final results from developed up oil on the scalp and hair that traps useless pores and skin cells, which amass and flake off. Those with dandruff frequently have actually itchy scalps, and flakes usually shake shit and accumulate to the shoulders, garments and home furnishings. Dandruff simply cannot normally be cured, but usually it could be managed with above-the-counter shampoos and specific lifestyle adjustments. Seborrheic dermatitis is actually a associated ailment that always looks like dandruff in its early phases, but could be far more invasive and severe. Seborrhea is an affliction that triggers overproduction of sebum, or pores and skin oil, which ends up in oily, inflamed skin with yellowish scales that may lose. This affliction is a result of inflammation in the skin over the scalp and various hairy parts, and can actually be fairly painful in combination with staying itchy. The skin sometimes peels off in significant patches, leaving uncooked and delicate parts uncovered. Scalp psoriasis is the same affliction that causes grayscaling and purple patches that occasionally prolong past the scalp. Both of those are agonizing, but they usually is often handled with medicated shampoos and specific prescribed drugs. Diseases resulting in hair decline. Telogen, effluvium and alopecia are a lot less popular scalp problems that result in loss of hair and patches. Alopecia is undoubtedly an immune deficiency ailment and frequently takes place in one or two broad areas within the scalp. In really uncommon circumstances, it also can result in entire body hair decline. Telogen effluvium triggers rapid scalp hair reduction and patches, but ordinarily is a brief reaction to anxiety, trauma or certain forms of medication. While hair rejuvenation medication is offered in many spots, not all patients respond to it. Hair development concerns. Folliculitis is without doubt one of the much more agonizing scalp disorders, and it frequently results in ingrown hairs. Pustules that itch-induce type round the base of hair follicles and typically bring about extraordinary pain and sometimes lead to an infection. If unchecked, folliculitis may result in cysts forming about more info the scalp along with other areas of your body. These cysts needs to be lanced and, at times, sewn up in an effort to boost therapeutic. Fungal infections. A few of the most typical scalp bacterial infections are caused by fungal strains, typically with the environment but additionally often released internally from infections in other places in your body. Frequent fungal infections of your scalp include things like tinea capitis, which results in spherical ringworm patches that are white or gray. The infection eats away at hair, eyebrows and eyelashes unless treated with antibiotics. Furuncles and carbuncles, which can be fungal bacterial infections that lead to boils and scalp lesions, are fewer common but no less severe. Parasites. Head lice, also referred to as pediculosis capitis, undoubtedly are a parasitic infection that has an effect on the scalp. Lice are tiny insects that feed around the scalp tissue and result in itching with their bites. Head lice are extremely contagious and may be handled immediately. Scabies, from time to time referred to as sarcoptic mange, may also affect the scalp. With this problem, tiny mites burrow into your skin and trigger bacterial infections, which can lead to pink sores, hair reduction, and itchiness. Acquiring aid. It isn't usually probable to absolutely heal scalp situations and problems, but there are a range of different treatment options which can convey aid. Anybody who is worried about soreness, itchiness, as well as just alterations within their scalp location is normally wise to set up an appointment which has a healthcare professional to receive issues checked out. In several instances, the faster a problem is taken care of, the less difficult it's to contain moving ahead. Visit the website. Click link below.
I hope you enjoyed our review. If you would like to order this product or see further details, then simply head over to the website address you see on the screen right now.